Okay, so this may actually end up being part of a series of videos. As you know, I have more than one car, and the problem with having more than one car is finding the time to drive the other cars. When you don't drive a car, what ends up happening is it sits there and its oil starts to collect at the bottom of the engine, and the battery is most likely going to start to lose its charge. And because these cars have lead acid batteries, they typically lose their charge. It can be a period of a month. It can be a period of weeks. It all depends on the size of the battery, and it depends how, strong the battery itself is. I was sent this product. This is the LOKITHOR JP400. They call this the world's most compact jump starter with air compressor. Now, here's the thing. I could have asked LokiThor to give me one of these devices that didn't have the air compressor, but I asked him to go ahead and give me the one that had the air compressor. And the reason why is because this small package is much smaller than my Syntec battery jumper. My Syntec battery jumper is your typical lead acid battery. It has a built-in air compressor. It weighs twice, maybe even 3 times what the LokiThor weighs right here. So the LokiThor, it's a 12-volt lithium battery. It has reverse polarity protection to make sure you don't accidentally try to jump the car the wrong way, which is a great thing because that actually happened to me one time. Very quick story. I had a friend. He had a Chrysler 300C, and he asked me to come and help him jumpstart his car. So I had a Chrysler 300 SRT at the time. I help him jumpstart his car, and sure enough, when his car is jump-started, he accidentally, and I'm pretty sure it was an accident. He didn't understand what you're not supposed to do when you jump a car. But he touched the black cable to the red cable, and sure enough, it shut my car down. So his car got started, my car got shut down. And basically, I think they had to replace a fuse or something, or they had to go into the computer and they had to, do something in order to get the system to work again. It didn't do any lasting damage from what I remember, but it killed my car that night. So anyway, it says it has a 2500 amp peak, 8.5 liter gas engines, or at least it'll work up to say an 8.5 liter gas engine or a 6.5 liter diesel. So this is basically a lithium battery that is able to produce enough crank power in order to start a car battery when you need that car battery started. So I'm absolutely going to be testing this over maybe a period of a couple of months. So this is not the only video I'm going to make about this product because my issues with dealing with my Jeep, my issues are ongoing. So I'm not just going to make just one video. Definitely not. I'm going to make a series of videos. So as for unboxing, so here you go. You got this LokiThor, what is it called? A manual. And then you have the product itself. And this is the product. It's not very big. It's actually quite small. And I'm pretty sure in here you get some connector cables. So you get your jumper cables right there. What does it come with? Air compressor tools for filling up your tires. And it comes with your red jumper cable. The plastic around this cable is, it's hard plastic. It kind of feels a little, it could have been higher grade plastic, but it should get the job done. After all, this is something you're going to use sparingly anyway. You're not supposed to have to use this over and over. So you got the black cable right here. Very nice. It connects to the system using this plug right here. This plug has a reverse polarity setup so that you can't plug it in the wrong way. Okay, that's very nice. Then in here in the box, we have the air compressor connector. And right here, you have the USB-C connector. So the beautiful thing about this, and this is something that I complained about when I was talking about my laptop right here, my gaming laptop. The thing about USB-C is now, because of the European Union, they've basically put USB-C on everything. And the beautiful thing about USB-C is it's very easy to find one of these, and it's very, very easy to be able to recharge even a device like this. So that's fun. That's fantastic. So right there is where you plug in the air compressor. Right here is the output, the 12-volt output. So this is, it's basically designed so that this is compact. So on top of that, they give you a little carrying pouch, which is perfect because I can put that right in my Jeep. It's much, much smaller than my old battery charger. It's easier. See, the thing about it is this device is like maybe 4 times the size of your typical Galaxy Android cell phone. I can easily keep this device. Around. And the beautiful thing is, if you're driving the car, while you're driving the car, you can actually recharge it because it uses USB-C. So if I were to plug this in my back seat, I'd be able to recharge this. Also, if you needed to take this to work and you wanted to just simply plug this in, all you'd have to do is plug it into USB-C, and you could plug it into anywhere. You could plug it into your office computer or whatever, and you're basically good at the end of the day, because for the time it takes to charge it, you're ready quicker. Lithium-ion batteries are basically being put in everything. And the thing about it is, as time goes on, lithium-ion batteries are getting smaller and less expensive, and they're getting more powerful. They're all, I was listening to them. They were talking about faster charging lithium-ion batteries for electric cars. I believe they called them sodium-ion batteries. And obviously, they also have solid-state batteries coming. So over time, these pieces of technology, especially things like, to be used on older vehicles, these things are getting cheaper and cheaper, and they're getting more and more efficient. So right here, you can, because it's a lithium-ion battery, I'm pretty sure it ships ready to use. So you can push that right there, and it turns on. It's got a nice power display right there. So what does it say? It says right now it's 000 PSI. If I wanted to plug the tire inflator in, you could just tell it to push pump. And the pump is on. It's at 0.2 PSI. Okay. So the pump is on. I can turn it off right here. If you want to turn up the pressure or turn down the pressure, that's what that's for right there. I'm going to turn that off right there. The pump is now off. There's a light, I believe, right there. So that's a nice work light to keep you safe at night when you're trying to pump your car. And a lot of people forget that you have to use work lights, because otherwise, when you're trying to pump your car on the side of the road, somebody might hit you and they don't even realize that you're there. They don't see what you're doing. So this is actually very, very compact. It's obviously not very heavy. It's very compact. It's actually it's a nice device. Very nice device. So you have different modes right there. You're talking about bike mode. So you have a bike mode PSI. You have a basketball pump. That's the symbol for the basketball pump. So you can have high PSI or low PSI. You can also change the setting from PSI to bar. So instead of pounds per square inch, you're doing it in air pressure in bar. Barometric. Let's see. Other than that, let's take it out of pump mode. Okay, so yeah, it's in pump mode. As far as the connectors for the 12 volt, so you have here, as you can see, there's a cover for the 12 volt, and there's also a cover for the USB Type-C, so water doesn't get into it. Now, this is interesting. It says USB and Type-C. So what they did, and this is brilliant, what they did was they made it so that you can plug in the USB-C side, or you can plug in the USB-A side. So that means that this one cable is able to charge this device either way. That's actually really, really brilliant. That's actually genius. That's really genius. So this way, it's very hard to get stuck without the ability to charge your car. So right here, you got these 2 connectors. Just slide that right in there. It only goes in, from what I can see, it only goes in one way because of the reverse polarity design. It only goes in one way. So there's no way to really mess that up. And right there, you have your full charging device. That's to jumpstart your car. Now, I absolutely am happy about having this for the very simple reason. Today, I actually was driving my Jeep around, and sure enough, I stopped and I had dinner with family. And sure enough, when I was leaving, my battery didn't want to jumpstart the car. And it was crazy because it was saying that there was low voltage, and the car was at the battery was at like 13 volts, but I guess it must have dropped under 13 volts. And it was saying it didn't want to start the car. So what I did was I pulled out my Syntec battery jumper, which I carry around regularly. And the Syntec battery jumper was able to easily jumpstart the car right away. And, you know, that kind of keeps me on my toes and it makes me worry. It's like, yeah, I have to make sure that I have some type of jumping device at any given time in that car. So I have a battery charger at home. I've got the Syntec jumper with the air pump. And now I have this LOKITHor. Because of the way they package this, where they give you a little bag and everything, this is definitely going to be the one that I keep charged and I take with me so that at any given point, I can easily jumpstart my car just in case it goes off. Not only that, what if, you know, if there's a stranger, because that's happened to me sometimes, like sometimes you're around strangers and they're, oh, sir, do you have any jumper cables? Well, when you have something like this, you can be a lifesaver, you know, to somebody who needs their car jumped. And now I carry my own jumper cables and I don't even need to jump it from the car. Now, you know, you can use this. Typically, these things are able to provide just enough power to be able to crank these engines. And this one is able to handle diesel trucks. You know, that's cool. So this is definitely the kind of device that you want to have with you, just in case you run into a situation where you have to jump your car or jump somebody else's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to charge this to 100%. And maybe what I'll do is I'll end up testing it on my car, because for some reason, unless I charge that battery again, I don't think that battery is going to be able to jumpstart the car by itself. But I'm definitely going to, you know, put this onto the car and show you, you know, the basics of how it works. But basically, it's really simple. All you do is basically turn it on and you just connect the cables and that's it. And you basically wait a couple of seconds or at least a minute or two while it tries to build the charge back up in the battery. And then you just hit the ignition and you're ready to go. In the interest of being as informative as possible, this right here is a 100-watt GaN charger, gallium nitride, and it's made by Kotek. There are newer ones. You've probably been bombarded with advertisements from Anker, and Anker makes a lot of these 100-watt and 65-watt chargers. Specifically, these things are being used for people who have Apple MacBooks or have fast-charging smartphones. As far as I know, the iPhone 16, for example, it doesn't charge up to 100 watts. Like Apple limits the amount of power that can be forced into their phones because they don't want you burning the phone out, right? So for the most part, having 100-watt GaN chargers around, those are things that I like to take with me when I travel, right? So I have two of those. And I have right here, I have a USB-C cable that has a voltmeter on it. So just to show you, this is how I'm charging my brand new LokiThor. And there's a voltmeter right here, so you can see this clearly. So it says, so this will allow me to charge at up to 100 watts. As you can see, the voltmeter says 3, 4 watts, 5 watts, 6 watts. I don't know how high this LokiThor will accept its power, but it's up to 7 watts. So yeah, this again, you know, see, that's the thing. This is a 100-watt charger. If you have like a gaming laptop or something like this is perfect. I would say that if you buy any of these chargers that you plan on keeping for a long time, you get a 100-watt charger. Even if you could deal with just a 65 or something smaller or 47, I wouldn't do that. I'd get a 100-watt charger. And the reason why is because they usually come with 2 ports. You get 2 USB-C ports. 2 USB-C ports allows you to charge more than one device at the same time. So if you go on vacation, it really comes in handy. So as you can see, we're up to 12 watts. And right now I am going to fill the LokiThor to its full capacity. It has a protector switch in there so you can't overcharge it, which is perfect. We're up to 13 watts. So it looks like it's settling around 12 and 13 watts. The charging speed doesn't really matter. The point is you want to get it nice and charged up so that this way, from a full position, you're able to use it. I read the instructions. They said when you connect this device to your car, it will recognize that it's connected properly. And then there's a countdown timer that will begin, and it'll do a 10-second countdown. After the 10 seconds is over, that's when you're allowed to crank start the car by pushing the ignition button. So, so far so good. I like what I'm seeing. This is a fabulous device. It's not relatively vastly different than the Syntec charger that I have. It's just that it's more compact. The only thing about it is the Syntec charger has little pockets where you can actually put your, connectors and stuff like this. But I'm just going to drop everything in the little bag. And I actually have like a little black Tesla baggie, but I have like baggies that are bigger than the one that they give you for the accessories. So I'm going to put this entire thing in like a baggie. I'm just going to keep it in the car. But this cable right here, this USB-C cable, I'll just put this to the side because I have other USB-C cables that I can use. So I'll probably put this in the accessory bag when I put everything away together. So that'll work out just fine. But yeah, it looks like it settles at about 12 watts. So 12 to 13 watts is more than fine enough. It'll be full probably within the hour. And, I'll run it out to the car when I want to start the car, if I want to move the car, and we'll give it a run. So we're at 15.0 watts, and we're gonna fill it up to 100%. And again, something like this, if you have older cars, this is something you definitely want to have. All right, so unfortunately, here we go. I'm gonna do another video about jump starting with the LOKITHor. So as you can see, try to push the ignition, nothing. Won't start, it won't kick over at all. So what I've got to do, open up when the battery is low, everything starts acting up. So I've got to get my LOKITHor. So I've got my LOKITHor right here. Let's take this thing out. All right, so this time I'm gonna get a better video clip of operation, because last time I don't feel I got a good enough clip of operation. So you go into it, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna have to do. I probably have to get another battery. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn on the LOKITHor's light, because it has its own built-in light right there. All right, so I have my light on. Okay, I'll lay this right here. The cables aren't very long, so you pretty much have to be close to the place where you want to jump, because the cables aren't very long. So what I'll do is I'll put the, what is it? Oh, in fact, let me turn it around. You can easily see. And by the way, this thing has a lot of emergency service abilities. Like, for example, I've already demonstrated you can use it to pump air in your tires, but on top of that, you can also use it to recharge your cell phone in an emergency. So if your cell phone is dead, you can use it to recharge your phone in an emergency. So when I plug this thing in, what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to give a quick countdown from 10 to allow you to know exactly what you see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The LOKITHor was, there it goes. Now it's saying that it's at 7 volts. This has its own built-in multimeter. If you can see that, because it's really bright, it says 7 volts, right? So it has its own built-in multimeter. And right now it's telling you battery's at 7 volts. So the battery power actually dropped since I was using it last. So it's checking the circuit. What is it saying? Looks like everything's good. Uh-oh. Don't want to spark. No sparks. I don't want any sparks. Okay, so it's doing a countdown. Once it does the countdown, that's basically to let you know that everything's good to go. So it says 6.8 volts. All right. So it looks like it's ready to be crank started. So there you go. The battery, this battery's like so low, it's down to 6.8 volts. That's not good. Now, let's see what I can do. Okay, let's turn the, you know what's funny? I didn't even turn my, I didn't turn freaking, what are those things? I didn't turn the windshield washers on. There it is. and the LOKITHor started on the first try. So, and basically all of this shit that's popping up, everything is going crazy because the battery voltage is low. So I'm gonna let it run for a couple of minutes, but chances are what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna have to charge the Mopar battery, and I'm gonna probably try to switch the Mopar battery with the battery I bought from Walmart, because the thing about it is, I'm not sure exactly what the problem is, because there shouldn't be any phantom drains. As you can see, it's saying that it's 13 volts. I'm gonna just let it run just a couple of minutes. So I'll just let it run for a couple of minutes. But the LOKITHor got it right up and running. So the LOKITHor, very nice lithium ion battery, or it's actually lithium ion polymer. It's lithium polymer, but whatever. So we got it right up and running. So I can turn it off, and I noticed that I lost a whole block of power, so it may require recharging based solely on just using it that one time. But the thing about it is, in an emergency, it's better than nothing. So I can turn it off and just put everything back. I'll let it run for a couple minutes, but I don't know what it is. I don't think there's any phantom drain, but I'm not really sure. Long story short, holy crap, why is there a light down there? There's like a yellow light down there. That doesn't make no sense. You see that yellow light? What the fuck is that? There's a yellow light down there? I don't see the source. I don't see the source of the yellow light. I don't know what that is. Apparently there's a yellow light down there. That might be coming out of the alternator. I don't know. Whatever that is, there's a yellow light down there, and it's lit. I have no idea what that shit that is. That's weird. But bottom line is, I just demonstrated that the LOKITHor will get you up and running in an emergency. Let's see, turn the light on. Yeah, the LOKITHor will get you up and running in an emergency. I don't understand what that light is. There must be a light in the alternator or something. There's a yellow light down there, and I do not know what that is. It's just a light. I have no idea. Yeah, this is weird. And now the LOKITHor is telling me that it's low on power. So apparently that jump start sucked the power right out of this goddamn thing. But bottom line is, I'm going to recharge it. I'm going to take it, I'm going to recharge it. I'm going to keep it available for the next time that I need to re-jump start the car. There was another company that wants to give me a device to test, and they want me to demonstrate it. So I'm going to wait for that to arrive in the mail, do the same thing. But in the meantime, I'm going to charge my Mopar battery, and I'm going to see if recharging that Mopar battery is able to save the save this truck, because the thing about it is, right now it doesn't really bother me where it's sitting. It's just sitting still right now, but I want to find out what's the problem. And fortunately, when I have one of these jump starters, even though one jump seems to suck all the power out of this goddamn thing, I'm just glad that I have the ability to actually start the car in an emergency. And it's very, very small. It's very, very portable. I like that.
To be continued.